Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever and whenever you are. I am Rune from Rune'sGuild, and this is another episode of RPG Horror Stories. In today's episode, we are going to be reading a story about a female who played an incomprehensibly bad D&D game recently and can't stop thinking about it, or the hauntingly beautiful fourth grader. Oh god, is this going to be a child thing? Oh no. I haven't pre-read this. Okay, if there's anything like super bad, there will be a content warning here coming up. You know me, I like to travel back in time and make sure I give those out. So if you see one of those, just be careful with whatever it is. So, before we get into even longer of an introduction, let's go ahead and roll the. But you know what? I'm not even gonna actually finish that. I'm just gonna go ahead and say content warning. This is gonna have some weird things with kids. I already know it. Don't even worry about that future me coming back. This is going to have some weird stuff in it. So if you're uncomfortable with anything involving sort of like sexualizing of children or anything else that might involve a child, it could be in that realm, because the phrase hauntingly beautiful fourth grader is a dead giveaway that there is going to be some weird stuff happening to this one. Yeah, so before I get into even longer now, let's go ahead and roll the post. This is a throwaway just in case. A friend of mine had invited me to join a random one-shot of some D&D 5e. Someone in his server was hosting with a few of our mutual friends who would be playing for the very first time. Why not? Couldn't be that bad, I thought. Oh, how naive I was. The DM was running a Tokyo-esque cyberpunk setting, which is fairly exciting at first, and he also claimed to be a rather experienced DM, which enticed me into the game further. The issue started early with the DM's odd arrogance and adamancy that the one-shot would turn into a full campaign, saying things like, "All my previous one-shots have turned into campaigns," and cocky manners. Imagine like glasses pushing up with that. It was a bit off-putting off the bat. He was also adamant that we have a healer. Apparently only one NPC in the entire setting sold healing potions or something of the sort. And that was a bit weird as well. That is kind of weird. He also told us how we are going to go from level 2 to level 3 mid one-shot. What? Which I found quite odd. He continued to forewarn us how we'd only level up if we interacted in a certain way with a certain NPC, and if some of us didn't, we'd be behind a level. Big spoiler here, we never met this NPC, nor did we make it to level 3. Now, I found this pretty odd, especially considering the fact that there are 3 new players at this table, and that everyone gaining their subclasses and leveling up in the middle of a one-shot might be kind of strange for new players. I mentioned to one of the new players that leveling up mid-game is kind of weird and to not stress about it when it comes up, to which the DM became incredibly defensive and went on to tell me how I shouldn't hamper a creative vision, and that he asked many experienced DMs about it. The DM also allowed one of the players to play over text the entire game. He didn't read out the text or anything himself and play sound effects for their character. It was really awkward once we got into the game. One last issue before the game is that the DM demanded we use the dice on D&D Beyond. I explained to the DM that on my laptop, D&D Beyond dice are super choppy and take up to 30 seconds to actually roll, to which the DM just told me to roll your dice before your turn in combat. When I explained to him how stupid that is, he spent a solid 5 minutes arguing about it. He luckily added a dice bot to the server we were playing in. Okay, yeah, let me just roll my dice before I even know what I'm gonna do. My friend who invited me had already dipped from all the red flags, but still wanted to listen in. I only stayed to try to help the new players have a slightly better experience and to witness whatever the fuck this game would turn out to be like. Oh boy, did it turn out to be something special. Finally, we began the game, and something immediately struck me. Oh my god, he's playing Vocaloid during the game. He played Vocaloid and later Japanese rap throughout the entire one-shot. Not even instruments, not even hand-picked tracks at least. His, playlist of Vocaloid music was playing through the entire game. To say it was distracting is putting it mildly. Okay. After I got over the whiplash of Vocaloid, our party met with a character who would hire us to do a job. The guy wanted us to go investigate some murders in the city for pay. Okay, cool, this might be okay. The new players began role-playing their asses off immediately. It was really cool. It was a really cool sight, honestly, as they tried to haggle with this guy for a mild increase in pay, to which the character and DM shut down to an insane degree. No reciprocation of the new players' really fun roleplay, no persuasion rolls, and even began to threaten the party that if we kept trying to roleplay, we wouldn't even get the quest and the game would end. So we reluctantly set out to do the quest. This is also where it became apparent that our DM did not help out any of the three players make their sheets, or teach them anything about D&D or the mechanics. After leaving the worst roleplay experience ever, we left the guy's HQ. One of the new players asked the DM to recount some of what the guy told us before he had out to do the job, and the DM said next flashbanged me into next week and might have given me a concussion. The DM asked, "Roll me a history check." I was flabbergasted, bamboozled, bewildered, and befuddled. The DM wanted a history check to recall what the NPC had said 0.5 nanoseconds ago. I didn't mention anything, but I was still in a state of complete and utter shock. Don't forget the Vocaloid is still playing. Luckily, the players succeeded their check, for who knows if we could have got to play if they failed. And we started searching for information in the area. We made our way into another part of the city where the DM randomly decided to bring up the red lights district in the area, which was apparently right next to the school. He also thought it was necessary to mention the strange noises and grunts coming from an alley, which weirded me out personally. We started asking questions of a pleasantly offensive drug addict stereotype who was just as great as you think he is. At this point, we started noticing that basically every NPC would react to us in the same way, being weirded out by the party and super abrasive. Every single NPC acted the exact same way, and it got exhausting. After nearly 2 hours of absolute nothing meandering, trying to find information on the murders from cookie cutter weirded out NPCs, we finally found an NPC who was proceeded to describe, and I kid you not, the exact words used were a hauntingly beautiful fourth grader around the area. That description, and the way it was said, had the whole table weird champing out, and don't forget the Vocaloid was underscoring the description. Anyway, this DM and this info led us to a boarding school trying to find the hauntingly beautiful fourth grader. The DM kept making non-stop pedo jokes about our characters while we were investigating, which was really uncomfortable. At this time, the Vocaloid playlist ran out, so one of the new players started playing the music to fill the dead air. Luckily, it was OSTs for scenes and not Miku. We finally found the fourth grader who was possessed or something like that, and 3 hours into the one-shot, we had our first combat. Finally, I was so happy to at least have found something that wasn't crappy RP or pedo jokes. Unfortunately for us, the combat didn't even last one round. The yokai and the hauntingly beautiful fourth grader decided to skedaddle and the combat ended. Oh my. Okay, we guessed we had to follow it, so we did, only to find ourselves in a hallway puzzle with 7 doors, which were magic proof, so we couldn't try to do anything clever with the puzzle. At this point, we were going into overtime of where we were supposed to, but luckily for us, the DM could keep going. Extra lucky for us, one of the new players decided to straight lie to get us out of the one shot and said they had to go. Thank you, thank God. The DM asked us when we could all come back for another game, and we all awkwardly said we weren't interested in another one and left. The poor new players said they did not end up having a good time, and neither did I, if I'm going to be honest. I don't believe this guy was a very experienced DM at all. This is only a peek behind the curtain of absolute boredom and misery we experienced playing this game. Let this be a warning to all ye players. Beware any DM who likes to talk about hauntingly beautiful 4th graders. Not as bad as I thought it would be, so hopefully not too many people left because of the content warning I gave. So, good news. the OP left. That's good news, right? Obviously the OP had to, deal with it in the first place, but the OP left, so the OP doesn't have to go through it again. Although I am inclined to have the OP go back and see what happens next, because this is kind of intriguing, and I wonder if this guy could be another one like the other story we read, and he could go to jail. Now that would be pretty good, because anybody who makes PEDO jokes about 4th graders and calls them hauntingly beautiful is probably not the best person to exist. So where did I see? I saw a part in here. The red light district next to the school. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that. What the fuck? What the hell? Yeah, the red light district, and you can see to the left is a little middle school. It's a middle school, elementary school, where you can hear those strange grunting coming from the alley. What is that? What is that? Who says that? Who says that? Who thinks about saying that and doesn't realize how weird that is? Now, the other story made me cringe. The story I had a few days ago made me cringe. But here's the thing. This is making me cringe even more. Because at least the other one was just about titty pics. Just about titty pics. This one is about a 4th grader. Not necessarily entirely, but it includes a 4th grader, and I just don't understand. I don't get it at all. Why do we have to sexualize children? And why do we have to call them hauntingly beautiful? Why does their school have to be next to the red light district? Why does that have to be a thing? I'm gonna stop, because I don't have anything new to say about that. So that's gonna be the end of this video, because I don't have anything else to say besides good job, OP, for getting out of there. Bad job, DM, for being a fucking creep. Okay, that's about it. So, if you enjoyed the video, leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscription, leave me a extra watch time. I don't know what else you can do. If you didn't enjoy it, I'm sorry, that's my bad. I'll try better. If you have any horror stories of your own, add them to the comments below. If not, good job. And if you can't think of anything to comment, just please, whatever you do, comment anything besides hauntingly beautiful 4th grader. Like, please, for the love of any god you could believe in, just not that one. I don't care what you say. You could leave a D equals 8. That's fine. I don't care, just not, or 8 equals D. I said that backwards. Just not hauntingly beautiful 4th grader. If anybody comments that, I will cry myself to sleep. So, with that said and done, thank you for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.